Hello and welcome to Square Raindrop. I'm Jo Wheeler.
And I'm Steff Galter.
And Steffi, you're looking incredibly Christmassy. You're just a bit late.
Yeah, well, I was a bit late to the Christmas party. Not this late, though, and I wasn't meaning to look Christmassy. It's just this thing normally has died by now, and it's still thriving.
So you're just showing off.
Yeah, did you have a poinsettia? What did you do? Spin it? I don't know what to do with it after Christmas.
First year ever, and I haven't had one. I usually do, and yes, I usually manage to nurture them for some time. Apparently, says one gardener whose name I can't remember, you can actually keep them going through the year, but it's quite difficult.
Well, Christmas in July is the new the new call in my house.
Well, it may not be Christmas, but the weather's starting to look a little bit festive.
Yes, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, even though it's not Christmas anymore. So windy, snowy. Do you like snow, Jo? Well, that rhymes. You must do.
Well, obviously, I do. If I don't have to travel anywhere, I'm an absolute fan.
Do your dogs like Christmassy, snowy weather?
Oh my lord! I've only got one dog now. You know, times move on. I've just got the one, but she comes from the Caucasus Mountains in Russia, and therefore she's very keen on snow. So I'm expecting that I won't be able to get her in for at least the next 3 weeks.
Oh, well, she is the size of a small bear, so that does make complete sense. So yes, the winds are all turning northerly. We're going to see lots of snowy weather, Arctic maritime air, which means maritime, moisture, Arctic, bit chilly, and it's all going to be snowy. But the snow's mostly around the coasts, isn't it, Jo?
It is indeed. And you know something, you say Arctic maritime, I've spotted that. Now, obviously, Arctic air, we're all familiar with, it's coming direct from the north. Where's Arctic maritime coming from?
The north, but it comes from the sea. There's sea to the north of us.
Yes, yeah, but there's no way of air from the Arctic getting to us without coming across the sea.
Yes, I guess you're right there. It's not continental air, though. I guess that's the main thing. It's Arctic air, and it will be very cold.
Okay, fair enough. Now, of course, you don't just have cold, you have cold plus a wind chill. And as you say, we're going to have these strong northerly winds. So suppose we have a daytime temperature similar to what we've had recently, around 2 degrees, 3 degrees high in the day. With the wind chill, what are we looking at?
I don't know, Jo. You tell me. What are we looking at?
We're looking like a feel-like temperature of sub-zero. Yeah, that's what we're looking at.
We are. I could have told you that.
Yes, but you didn't. Yes, you didn't tell me. That's why I had to say it. Never mind. Right. Okay. So initially we start with these snow showers on windward coasts. Right. That's all good and proper. But of course, what we need for some more extensive snow is something to move through it. And I don't mean a dog or a bear.
No, not a dog or a bear. So we've got the winds coming from the north. We're looking at around maybe 10 centimetres of accumulated snow in the north of Scotland. That combined with the winds will give drifting. It's going to be pretty horrible conditions up there. And then some of the snow flurries will just come down the edges, and nip the coasts of the east and maybe North Wales and Northern Ireland. And you could see about 5 centimetres of snow in each of those places. But for the south, obviously, normally in conditions like this, we're kind of sitting pretty, just having a bit of a cold, clear day with some blue skies, a crisp weather. But come Tuesday night and into Wednesday, it does look like something is going to come up from the south. Now, exactly where this far in advance is quite difficult to tell and pinpoint, but it looks like along the south coast, where this rain comes up and hits that cold air, we're going to get quite a bit of snow. Might go as far north as London. Big question marks at this stage.
Oh, that would be a big story if it does. Now, of course, we've had the beast from the east, we've had the pest from the west, and the troll from Trondheim. Is this going to be the snowflake from the south?
I'm not very good at this at the best of times, Jo, and this is not the best of time when I'm put on the spot.
That's okay. We've got between now and then to give it a decent moniker, I feel. Definitely.
Yes, we'll come up with something, and if anybody has any ideas, let us know. We'll try and infiltrate the media, and everybody will be using your special phrase. So let us know.
Yes, we'll manage that. Now, you can be excused for not having thought about this upcoming cold spell too much, because you had not one but 2 birthdays at the weekend.
Yes, I did. Strange biological fact of Steff is that she can only give birth on one day a year. The second child was a month early, so it's not like it was planned or anything like that. So yes, 2 children, 2 different years, one day that they're born on.
And close to Christmas as well. That sounds like my ultimate nightmare. Did you have to have kiddie friends round, that kind of thing?
I usually have their party in July. So we have a like 6.5 party or an 8.5 party, because otherwise it's Christmas, birthday, the end for the whole year. No more presents for you. So we have their special birthday halfway through, but on their day, they did have a couple of friends each, but they're at the age now where the younger one wants to be the older one. So the younger one wants to be friends with the older one and their friends, whereas the older one and their friends don't really want to be friends with the younger ones. So then there's all these arguments. The older ones are seen to be mean to the younger one. The younger one, many tears. So yeah, it was one of those birthdays from hell. And we all said afterwards, it was a lovely time. Shame it's a whole year till the next one.
It's one of those where bedtime is absolutely matched with the popping of a cork.
If you make it that far into the evening, yes, Jo.
Well, do you know something? At least you were probably warm, because I managed to run out of heating oil this week, which is pretty spectacular. I mean, how can you have it, a weather person running out of oil at the coldest time of year?
It's almost like you lost your coat, or you forgot to take your coat out, or you didn't take your brolly out during a rain shower.
But I have to say, in my defence, yes, it was down to a defective sensor, which had told me just before Christmas that I had half a tank. And my husband said at the time, by my reckoning, you should have run out by now. And I'm going, no, no, still got half a tank, still got half a tank. And whilst my daughter was here, you know, kind of shaking in her bed, going, it's very, very chilly around here. And I'm going, for goodness sake, child, because you still
Put
do
on an
when they're over
extra
20.
jumper.
Yeah, put on a jumper. Yeah, and put on some socks and shoes. If you wander around the house with bare feet, what do you expect? Yeah, yeah. The words just, they go back centuries, don't they? Anyway, so she goes, I've got socks and shoes on, and I've got a jumper on. I'm still cold, and I was like, oh, for goodness sake. So I very reluctantly upped the the thermostat a degree or two, to almost 12 actually.
And at no point did you feel chilly?
No, because you see, downstairs in the kitchen area, which is where I hang out most of the time, we've got underfloor heating, and the underfloor heating keeps it nice and toasty, you see. So
Yeah.
I was fine. I was having a lovely time, not too cold at all. But then I had cause to sit up here to do some work at some point, and I was sitting there thinking, do you know, she has a point. It's a little crisp around here. And so I went out to the garage, and the tank's still showing half full, and I'm thinking, I think you lie. That's what I think. You speak with forked tongue, you censor, you. Yes, so I got my torch and I looked in my oil tank, and it was like Mother Hubbard's cupboard. It was dry as, honestly. You've seen wetter things after a bit of drizzle. There was nothing in there. I mean, nothing. It was gasping, and probably had been gasping for a few days. So I managed to get some oil delivered. That was great. But then, of course, the system itself is going, got air in here.
No, it's all coffee. Oh no.
Lead and everything. And now the thermostat's not working. So it is slightly warmer. It's not as perishing as it was, but it's still not terribly warm.
Has your daughter left?
Of course. Otherwise, I'd be toast by now. Yeah, do you really think I'd have survived this long? There'd be a small cross in the garden marking where I was last seen. Yes, there's no way. No, and have I told her that she was right? No, of course not.
So all these people that complain about their children coming back home, like after university or after they've moved away for a bit, there's an easy fix, really, isn't there?
Yes, switch the heating off.
Exactly.
Don't come back anymore. Yes.
You sort yourself out with a heated gillet and underfloor heating, and then turn the heating off in the rest of the house. They'll soon be off. No problems.
That's pretty much what happened, actually. That is pretty much what happened. Although I have to say, so I think I told you that I went up to York with the day we had Storm Henk. And then, of course, she got stuck in floods in Northamptonshire, unable to get out. And so that's the time when you're sat on the phone trying to navigate your children away from somewhere. So actually, even if they don't come home because of the cold, they're still on the phone when they can't find their way somewhere. So it never really stops, Steph. And of course, yours are born on the same day.
Yeah, I've just had a thought. My dad often doesn't answer the phone when I ring. Do you think that's by design? I always thought he was just a bit absent-minded, but now you've got me thinking,
Couldn't possibly say a word. Couldn't possibly say a word, Steffi. No. Do you know something? He will answer the phone to you, and I'm quite sure he calls you because your father, like most of my relations, call me when they want a weather forecast, when they want to know. And of course, I've been on the phone going, don't plan to go anywhere next week. It looks like quite a big snow event in the middle of the week. Yeah, there'll be ice, there'll be snow, there'll be, terrible things. So yeah, I've already warned them all off. And this is a situation we are going to be watching, isn't it? Because it could be quite dramatic.
Yes, so the snow that's coming up from the south looks heavy. So wherever gets that snow is going to have problems. The trouble is forecasting, so many days in advance with different models giving different answers. It's impossible, absolutely impossible to pinpoint exactly where it's going to be. So it's just good for everyone to know at the moment that in the south, and I would go up to parts of East Anglia in that, there is a risk. And then keep your eye on the forecast over the next few days to see as we get closer and as we pinpoint it down to where the snow is going to be, that's the area most at risk. But just keep your eye on the forecast for now.
Yeah, we're focusing on this Tuesday, Wednesday issue at the moment. But after that, does the cold just go away? Or have we got an ongoing risk of snow?
Well, Jo, you're the one with the crystal ball. You know me, I like my 5 days. I don't like this kind of mythical weather in the future, whereas you love that.
You're right, I do. And the trouble is, every single model run there is, it changes. Looking further ahead, I would say, yeah, there's an ongoing risk of snow. I think the cold air hangs around for a while, and therefore anything that runs into it, any Atlantic system which tries to make its way in from the west, or anywhere else, is likely to give us some snow at times. But I think this first one, because it is the first one, and obviously that's the one that always disrupts us. As soon as we get the first bit of snow, trains go out the window, buses, nobody can drive.
Trains haven't been running for a while, Jo. They're always on strike.
No, I know it's bad that. I did actually find one the other day. I got on it just because I could.
It took you where you didn't want to go.
Irrelevant.
Yes, a train, it moved.
I'm going to get on it. Exactly. So anyway, yeah. So we might do an emergency update.
Yeah,
on
code
Tuesday.
red. Code red.
Yeah,
I'll get
code red.
Here.
Yeah. Weather red, yep, poinsettia weather. Okay, yeah, we might do that on Tuesday if it's looking really spectacular. Other than that, we will catch up fairly shortly to see whether or not that snow and that cold weather is going to hang around. In the meantime, if you'd like to contact us, it is
on X, formerly known as Twitter. We are at @raindrop because Square Raindrop didn't fit. And if you would like to email us, we are to be found at weather@squareraindrop.com.
We are indeed. Now, we used to tweet on Twitter. What do you do on X?
Post. I did actually post that same question and somebody just replied, post. And it was so deadpan, I was like, okay, that joke didn't work.
Now I know. So that's @Square Raindrop because Square Raindrop didn't fit. We would love to hear from you. And if you want a personalised forecast, please do let us know. Steffi has got one in the bag.
Oh, yeah. We're working on it right now. It'll be released soon. Release the Kraken.
So exciting. We will speak to you next time.
Bye.